I think it's probably one for the birds. I hope that proves to be the case. It's certainly a very reckless proposal, liable to be hugely expensive, both in terms of the financial cost of it, but also the human costs too, and indeed the costs of credibility of this country around the world if it were to embark on such a policy. I also note that it's almost 20 years ago that the then Labour government had much the same policy ideas, legislated to introduce them, never did so because one assumes that they realised what a disaster such a policy would be and therefore concluded that they would not go ahead. It really is about time that everyone dropped these rather harebrained schemes and concentrated on making our asylum system more efficient and effective in dealing with the relatively small number of people who seek safety here.
I mean, is there not an argument, though, that these people are making a perilous crossing across the Channel? There's no guarantee that they will be granted asylum. And we need to find some sort of way to stop them getting in the boats in the first place. How on earth can we do that without the cooperation of France and the EU, who seem to be sitting on their hands because, frankly, it seems to me they would rather the migrants move on from their own countries? I mean, the government is surely running out of options now.
Well, I think we should be a bit more respectful to the countries in Europe whom you mention, who host much larger numbers of people seeking asylum and indeed granted asylum than this country has seen in a very, very long time. So it's wrong to suggest that in some way those countries are washing their hands. It's really this country that is washing its hands of sharing some responsibility with its nearest neighbours, particularly by providing some entry, some safe entry, for the relatively few people, in particularly northern France, who have family and other connections in this country, which is why they want to seek asylum here rather than there, or indeed for some small proportion of the few people who struggle to get safely into the French system. If we were to do that, then yes, people wouldn't need to turn to smugglers. Sad to say, we keep refusing to share in any sense of this responsibility, and smugglers continue to thrive. And yet, the people who do make this crossing, particularly over the last 2 years, have been shown in significantly increasing numbers, and a majority by far, to be refugees when their claims are finally decided.